I think we can move on to our next topic now. Some messages are already coming in on the next topic, and our next topic is that apparently a document which was leaked from the National Investigations Bureau, which pegs Dr. Opoku Prempeh as the most preferred candidate among delegates and party people to run alongside Dr. Bawumia going into the 2024 general elections. Prince Henry from Koforidua says, we're waiting for the NPP to announce NAPO, aka bring your own doomsday timetable, as running mate to economist Dr. Bawumia. These two will fail Poto come December 7th. And as for the NIB carrying out this survey, the least said about them, the better. So I'm going to just put up a graph from the survey to show you exactly how all the candidates who were polled fared during this survey conducted by the NIB, the National Investigations Bureau. So this is the 2024 election NIB survey, preferred running mate for Bawumia. All right, so 76.27% of the party members, delegates who voted said that they prefer Dr. Opoku Prempeh. 10.16% said they prefer Yao Osei Educhum. 4.57% said other. 3.38% said Osei Mensa Bonsu. Then 3.34% said Frema Opare. And 2.27% said Joe Osei Wusu. So this is what the report has given us, the survey has given us. Mind you, this is a leaked survey from the NIB. All right, and the document is marked confidential. I'm just going to read the conclusion and recommendation from the document, and then based on that, that basically sums up everything in the document, and based on that, we can continue our conversation. You can let us know what you think about this with the hashtag TV3NewDay on X. I'll read your messages as we go. So here is the final part of the report, the survey. Conclusion and recommendation. Dr. Opoku Prempeh is highly preferred as the best pair for Dr. Bawumia due to his popularity and strong connections with the grassroots of the party. His nomination for the position of running mate resonates well with the grassroots. This will potentially foster party unity, essential for enhancing Dr. Bawumia's chances, particularly in the Ashanti region, a stronghold of the New Patriotic Party. This conclusion is reinforced by an early survey conducted by the NIB in January 2024, which assessed the electorate's choice of running mate across Ghana. Dr. Opoku Prempeh was preferred among voters for the choice of running mate to Dr. Bawumia. Given Dr. Prempeh's current role as the Minister of Energy and the ongoing power crisis in Ghana could impact his candidacy. Therefore, the government may need to implement necessary measures to solidify his competence in managing the energy sector, thereby enhancing the party's prospects in 2024. And that's the end of the report. After that are some tables and some appendix, etc. Following that. So that's the conclusion and recommendation. And since this report came out yesterday, questions have been asked about why the NIB will conduct the survey at all, whether there has been any precedence. Is this something that they normally do for political parties ahead of elections? And how did this document leak? Also, questions about the difference in numbers and percentages between Dr. Opoku Prempeh and Dr. Yao Osei Educhum and others has also been raised. That is it really the case? Would like to know what you think. We'll be talking to Kofi Kapito shortly on this, but first, let me talk to our women in the studio to find out. First of all, Nanaya, when you saw this report, this survey, what did you think of it? I'm smiling because of something that I already know. But what did you make of this report when you saw it?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. This one is a party thing. I mean, It is their party.
And I think I should say that we were expecting our NPP rep to join us this morning.
She'll be whoever it is.
But unfortunately, she is not here. We hope that she joins us before the conversation ends. We are not sure.
So, this one is within the party. I mean, if you talk about Napo is okay. I mean, he's fine. He's competent. He's done his work. If anybody says that they should make him more competent in the energy sector, the issues in the energy sector concerning electricity, no money, is truly not within his purview.
It's not within his purview.
Yeah, because I mean, government has to provide money to buy or pay everybody. So that one, I don't see how.
But he's the minister in charge.
Yeah, but the money doesn't sit with him.
So he has no control or power at all.
No, but the money should come from finance. He would recommend that.
Yes.
So if the money is not coming, how is he going to this thing? If, for instance, the energy sector levies, ESLA was there, then he has control over ESLA. But now ESLA has been encumbered. Do you understand? ESLA has been encumbered to loans, and ESLA cannot be used. So whatever proceeds come into ESLA goes off to pay some loans. So he has no control over the finances of the Ministry of Finance. But the point is that this is their party thing, is the MPP thing. And I want to find out what is the population size and what kind of people did they talk to. Do you get me? And I mean, yeah, sometimes people contract NIB to do surveys for them to know exactly, because it is believed that when they do the survey, it is not biased. It is not partisan. They use some intelligence to. They have their own intelligence to pick the data.
All right.
So I just want to find out. I mean,
so I can give you some of the numbers. The survey polled 5,116 party executives.
Party executive, not Ghanaians.
No, party. So this is a strictly party survey. Okay. Yes. So 5,116 party executives were polled. Just to answer your question on the population size.
So executive, that's delegates.
Yes.
How many delegates do they have? Over 200 and something thousand. And if you pull 5,000, is it representative? Pardon?
There was a pie chart on the preferred
per gender.
Yes.
Okay. So do you 5,000, is it representative enough of everybody? The number of people who are there, the number of delegates.
Just the sample size.
But the sample size, if you do your calculation, what's the percentage? What are we looking at? This is an internal thing. Number 3, it is the running mate. I don't know why we are making so much this thing about the running mate. It is the flag bearer who chooses his or her running mate.
But the choice of running mates has an impact on the election. It doesn't.
No, you see, this choice of running mate having an impact. Before it wasn't like that, because it is the flag bearer whose picture is on the ballot. So what the running mate is with the flag bearer. The flag bearer's picture is on the ballot. It is not the running mate's picture which is on the ballot. Ghanaians don't vote for running mate, they vote for the flag bearer. Do you get me? When we get to the ballot, at that time, it is the flag bearer's picture who is there. And the flag bearer chooses the running mate, yes, in tandem with the party. But largely, sometimes they choose people they can work with. So that at the end of the day, there are no problems between the two of them. Do you understand me? So I don't think this one should not even be a national discussion.
It shouldn't be.
No, because this is a party thing. Look at the living in the population size. Population, the samples are from within the MPP.
Yes.
So this is typically an MPP thing, and I don't think that whether it is leaked or not.
It doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, my only problem is that for a place like NIB, why should a document leak? Because they are supposed to be in charge of intelligence and security and all that. Do you understand? But truly, this is an internal MPP matter.
All right.
Whoever they choose for me is neither here nor there.
All right. Let's quickly talk to Mr. Richard Kumado. He's a security analyst. He has just joined us on the line. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anna.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, one of the questions which has been asked since this survey leaked on social media yesterday was whether or not the National Investigations Bureau is in the business of conducting such surveys for political parties, and how such a survey, confidential survey, could leak to the general public. Can you give us some insights into that?
Okay, so now, correctly speaking, the Bureau of National Investigation, or the NIB as they call it today, is an intelligence gathering organization. They engage in various intelligence collection exercises. And the purpose is that it has for the survivability of the state, and national sovereignty protective objectives are made or are achieved through decision making. The BNI don't get involved in personal businesses. And for almost 30 years experience within the security intelligence arena, or as somebody who has worked there for many years, I've never seen this magnitude of poor judgment, and I've never seen the BNI struggling so much in protecting the secrets of the organization. This report would have had a stamp of confidential or restricted, if not operational stamp. And once the report has a stamp of restricted or confidential, it means that whoever released the report into the general public has committed a treasonable offense, just like you must have heard the WikiLeaks guy is struggling today, having a sunshine around his head. And that is the gravity of what we are talking about. To the extent that the BNI was asked to conduct such a survey, which they do some other things in line with this type of intelligence, I think poor judgment and lack of discretion is creating a problem. Now, the difficulty is that what they have done, they will not come to deny or confirm it because of the peculiar nature of what the organization is set up to do. Three things it does for them: it puts them in a very bad spot. It will affect the frontliners within the organization. And number three, we are just about opening the Pandora box through politics, NDC, NPP politics. And if care is not taken, sensitive national security documentations will be thrown out there. So we say that the national interest was not protected. National security priorities was not considered by releasing such a report, which is peculiar to a particular political interest. Said that. Then when you stretch the argument, whoever released the report is doing a political propaganda against the other people who find themselves on the list of becoming the vice presidential candidate race in this particular country.
All right, that's interesting that you'd say that. This is a serious indiscretion, you're saying, on the part of whoever released this from the NIB. But people are also asking that it's a little curious, if you like, that this report or survey will come out at this time when we were expecting or waiting for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to announce who his running mate would be. They suggest that there could be some propaganda or agenda going on here in favor of Dr. Opoku Prempeh. Do you think so?
Definitely. That is what is pointing to us. And you don't need a soothsayer prophet to get it out. Even if you look at the percentages they have assigned, I have done data analysis for all these years. I'm the founder of Independent Election Security and Compliance Watchers. What we do, one of the things we do across the group is to do what we call political security risk assessment. And we have visited almost 215 constituencies within this country. And if you look at the percentages they have assigned, people will be forced to ask them what was the nature of questions they asked. Is it social survey they did, or they went for a stratified methodological systems of conducting this poll, and people want to find out the actual people they spoke to. And this is in contravention to what they do and their outlook and their objective. And I'm thinking this one looks more like a deliberate negative propaganda against the other contestants. But in any case, now, as Africans, now, I have lived in London for years. Now, do you know the Deputy Prime Minister of London? Have you ever heard his name before? Do you know the Deputy President of China? Do you know the Deputy President of France? And do you know the Deputy Chancellor for Germany? I think we are placing too much premium on politics that do not add anything to our GDP, except to create an image where productivity is being affected in this country. And to the extent that the Bureau, some of us have worked for and have sacrificed so much for this country for working at the Bureau, and we see it as a privilege. It's one institution we have to preserve. And the number, of course, we are receiving from our friends across the group, it doesn't look a little bit good for us. It's a little bit too embarrassing that we are dragging the Bureau into the national political arena by partisanship, which has disagreed. And I think my senior brothers and my senior sisters and those I have mentored and my colleagues in the BNI, they should put their heads in shape. This level of indiscretion, it's not what we were trained. It's not what we're trained to do, and this is not what we are taught. And our fathers and grandfathers, some of them have died. They will be laughing at us. I'm sorry, we are getting it wrong very, very fast.
All right, Mr. Kumado, before you go, after all that you have said, perhaps should we reconsider, or should we consider the possibility that this report is not from the National Investigations Bureau? Is there any way we can tell or verify, if you have seen the report yourself, is there any way we can tell or verify that it's in fact from the National Investigations Bureau? Because if it is in fact from the Bureau, then we don't expect that it should leak. No, because there's no signature on it. So you said earlier that it should have a stamp of restricted or restriction, and it should be signed, I suppose, at least, but there's no signature on it and there's no such stamp. There is confidential written at the top of each page, but that's it. Is there any way we can tell that it's in fact a report from the NIB?
That is what makes the NIB, you guys have changed the name to NIB, the same Bureau of National Investigation. That makes them peculiar and that makes them unique in the things they do. I have read the recommendations and I have read the nature of the report, even though I'm not holding the physical copy in my hands now. But I glanced through it and I saw it somewhere with somebody. And I think those are the two things you will look out for. Besides the classified, non-classified and all that, you will see confidential and you will see restricted. And everything is pointing to the fact that the report is coming from the NIB or the BNI. And I know how their reports are structured, and this particular report, it might be coming from there. The probability that it's coming from there is high. And the reason why it's coming from there, or they might want to paint a picture it's coming from there, is that the BNI or the NIB holds a peculiar significance in this country. And they have a weight. So if you put the weight of the NIB behind such a report, it puts our brothers whose percentage went very high. And they are using that as a propaganda tool. Secondly, because the BNI will not come out to deny or accept, they play on that level of anonymity and they play on that level of, dump that people will either believe or they will disbelieve. But then they project the belief very high. So people will not have the second thought of saying it might not be coming from there. But everything shows that this particular exercise was conducted by them. With regards to the spectrum, you can disagree with that. With regards to how it was screwed towards one person, you can disagree with that. But if you are familiar with what the BNI does basically, or the NIB does basically on the ground, you don't need a soothsayer prophet to tell you that this might be coming from there, and they screw it to favor our brother whose percentages came up. And I'm thinking, if the BNI cannot protect their own documents, and documents are linking from the BNI to the general street, like it's being done in the media, they have a huge responsibility to work around it and make sure that going forward, such discrepancies and such narratives do not prevail there. Other than that, they might be opening the Pandora box and creating many more problems for themselves.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard Kumado. Thank you for joining us and bringing us those insights. We're very grateful. We've been talking to Richard Kumado. He's a security analyst, and he has worked with the BNI, now NIB, for many years. Thank you so much. Louisa, I saw you nodding frantically while Richard was talking. You agree with everything he has said?
Not everything, but some. And I would want the parts of where the statistics was broken down, the data was broken down, to where it was exactly.
To most preferred candidates.
The most preferred candidates.
You said the women.
The people who the data was collected from, constituency executives, and it's a table.
All right.
Here, please.
Okay, so we'll project that on the screen shortly so that you can also see what we're looking at. Can you see?
Yes, I can.
You can see
from here.
All right.
Exactly.
Coordinator or coordinators?
So should we read it out?
Exactly.
Okay.
The figures Matthew Opoku Prempeh got throughout the people the data was collected from. So you see, when it gets to the national executive, that is where he got the least.
Yeah.
0.02. And then I've always said that everything a political party does is strategical. They employ tactics to achieve results. So as to how the NIB document got leaked, if the MPP didn't want it in the public domain, we wouldn't have seen it. Because if you contract NIB to undertake an investigation for you, they give you the result. So it is what you want to do with the results that you do it with. So if we are getting a document from NIB, Ghanaians didn't contract NIB to conduct a survey for us. It was the MPP that contracted them. So if they have given you your results and you leak it under the pretense of leaking it by giving it out, then it means that you actually want to tell us something. And then from the 0.02, it is evident that amongst all the people who want Matthew Opoku Prempeh as their running mates, the national executives are not in favor with that statistics. So adapting political strategy, what do we do? But
the national executives actually voted less for the other candidates as well. So national executives voted 0.02% for Matthew Opoku Prempeh, but it's 0.00% for all the other candidates mentioned.
But then, what is the number of the national executives?
Which constituency is this one?
They are not constituencies.
No, it's a constituency.
They're constituency executives. So they pulled from various constituencies.
They should let us know that if they are in Ashanti region or Volta region, they should let us know.
We'll show you the graph of the... so there's a graph for the preferred region as well. So I suppose that will help answer your question. We'll pull that in a moment, but please finish your point. So you're making a point on the national executives.
0.02, it means that the number of national executives who are in support of Matthew Opoku Prempeh becoming a running mate is a minute one.
Yes.
So if we would have to announce or make a bold statement, then let us leak the document to the public so that we just have to conform or toe the line of the document. After all, it's already in the public domain. And we don't want to be seen as a party that is not serious. So if this investigation result is saying this, let's stick to it. And then mind you, 2 weeks ago, a survey was conducted by a certain doctor from Kumasi that says that Dr. Bawumia is the preferred candidate whatsoever. We don't even know the questionnaires or the methodologies that were used. Regardless, they ran with it. So they want to tell us that they're a party that believes in service. So if you have already released a document, then there is nothing we can do to change the outcome. And I say this on authority because this has been the modus operandi of Dr. Bawumia.
What has been his modus operandi?
Releasing service when he cannot be bold enough to communicate his decisions. I say this because Gideon Boakum is the spokesperson of Dr. Bawumia. When he was contesting for Member of Parliament in Tano North, this was the same strategy they adopted.
They got a survey.
They got a survey from NIB. Leaked the survey results to let us know that it was around the same percentages. He got around 78% of the results that were released against Frida Prempeh. And they also came out to say that there was actually a release signed by Frida Prempeh's campaign coordinator that if the survey was conducted in their constituency, they were not spoken to. None of the branch executives in their constituency actually says they have spoken to anybody for a survey. So you see, Gideon Boakum is the spokesperson. He used this same approach and eventually employed some tactics and antics and won. Fast forward, Dr. Bawumia has to announce a running mate. I cannot do so, so let's employ the same tactics. But what I would want to say is that Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Napo is not a new person in the political terrain. If you want him as a running mate, be bold enough. And one key quality of a leader is to be very bold, courageous, and decisive. So if you would have to release a survey to announce your running mate, then I think that alone is a failed venture for Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, as Minister for Education, traffic light system in education for the first time. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, as Minister for the Energy Sector, we are experiencing doomsday, but cannot be honest enough to say that it is doomsday. Somebody who actually went on the streets in 2016 to demonstrate for doomsday can now not boldly say we are experiencing doomsday, but choose to hide it under the pretense of doomsday. Whatever they are saying is been months, are they still not done? And then he tells Ghanaians that we want a timetable, we should produce our own timetable. Another quality of a good leader is to respect the people who give you the mandate. So if you are the Minister for the Energy Sector, we are experiencing doomsday, and the best thing you can do is to disrespect us in this manner. Then if you become a running mate, what would you make out of the ordinary Ghanaian? Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as an MP, how has his constituency fared over the period he has been an MP? So if you asked me this morning now, there is nothing new they are bringing on board that they would have to employ a whole tactic of releasing a survey and trying to denigrate the NIB from how they protect their confidential documents. So whatever the case is, whether they bring Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, whether it is Mother Frida Frema Opare, whether it is whoever else that was in there, no matter who they bring, the value is still the same. It is the same crop of people who have actually driven our economy into the abyss. Dollar is now 16 Ghana cedis. The same crop of people.
Pound is
so 20. Whether or not they bring Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the elephant will be chased to the bush regardless.
All right, let me read some more messages coming in from you on this subject. Good morning, now. This survey, as it is skewed to please the palace and nothing else. But any running mate, even if Nana, the NPP will lose elections in 2024. And that's a message from Stephen Peng, texting us there. Hello, Na. The survey was conducted by the BNI, it's now NIB, predicting Matthew Opoku Prempeh as Bawumia's running mate. It should not concern the NDC. It is evident that the institutions meant to be independent have now aligned themselves with a certain party and serve only their interests. Where were they when the NDC was also selecting a vice? My focus remains on our work, which is why I consistently say that we will match anyone boot for boot who dares to come to the voter region to intimidate anyone. All right, we have the best flag bearer, running mate, and a solid campaign team. Let's concentrate on working hard to ensure GM's victory and when it comes. And the NDC did announce their campaign team yesterday. More messages coming in. Napo left Ghana's educational sector in tatters. He's currently doing same in the energy sector, causing doomsday. Pairing him with Bawumia, who single-handedly destroyed our economy with his ill-advised economic policies, will be a disaster. Well, I don't know about some of the things that you have said, but more messages coming in. The survey was done among national executives, constituency executives, electoral area coordinators, polling station executives, MPs, MMDCEs, Council of Elders, and all MPP stakeholders. And that's a message from Master Planner Junior in Kintampo. I guess to answer your question, Nanaya. He also says Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh's combination will collapse all of the NDC's campaign. Honorable Haruna Idrisu and Honorable Muntaka are already out of the equation. It is possible with Doctor and Doctor. And that's again from Master Planner in Kintampo, texting us there. Good morning, Na. I really love the NDC lady in the studio. She's making so much sense. Okay. And Maxwell Akpabli says the MPP will lose massively if they bring back Kufuor, even if they bring back Kufuor as running mate to Bawumia. And finally, they can double their running mates and they'll still lose. And that's from Cleoman texting us there from WA. Thank you for sending your messages in on this one. All right, I should tell you again that we were expecting an MPP representative on our panel this morning, but she could not make it. And so we're sorry that we don't have her here with us this morning, for those of you who are wondering. Nanaya, we have about 5 more minutes to go. Do you want to make any point on Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh's candidature if he becomes running mate. So I'm going to pull up the graph.
That's what I'm telling you. It depends on them. But the Ashanti region is what, 92?
Yes. So let's just put up the graph on
96. Yes. That's what I was asking.
Yes.
The Ashanti region alone, he's a preferred. 92.96 people prefer. And certainly when you do your calculation, it will be skewed.
No, so what they're saying here, let me explain this table to you. So an overwhelming majority of respondents, that's 92.9%, believe that a running mate should be selected from the Ashanti region.
Yes. Did you get it? But I mean, the point is that who are the people? Seriously? My question is, they have about, I think, 300,000 delegates, putting everybody together. And if you interview only 5,000 of them,
you think the sample size is too small?
It is too small.
It's insignificant.
Yes, it's very insignificant.
All right.
Do you get me? That is where my problem is. Because if you really want to have some fair analysis and results, you should spread your sample size a little bit more. And also, the fact that you don't even, I'm seeing a new technique in choosing a running mate.
What's that technique?
That you have to go and do some data, some analysis to see the preferred candidate. I mean,
what do you think the right technique should be?
You just choose.
It shouldn't be based on...
No, why should it be based on anything?
It shouldn't be based on anything.
The security expert, when he was... Did you hear his analogy? He said, who knows the deputy A, the deputy B of these countries? He's just trying to tell you that why do you fast over choosing a running mate?
If they don't bring anything to the table, then we shouldn't have a running mate at all then.
No, but I'm saying that, what are they saying he's bringing to the table? I mean, truly, let's put the person aside. What are they saying he's bringing to the table? Look at what everybody is saying now. But what are they saying? That he's in touch with the grassroots. Are you saying that the education minister is not in touch with the grassroots? Is that the only criteria? Are you saying that Oseiche Mensah Bonsu is not in touch with the grassroots? I mean, what is it?
Well, popularity also plays a role here.
Everybody is in touch. Once you're a politician, especially a member of parliament, certainly you are in touch with the grassroots.
Okay.
Do you get it? So if that is the only criteria, and popularity, Oseiche Mensah Bonsu, is he not popular? He was the what? The leader of the House, deputy leader, minority leader, majority leader. He has been there so long. Is he not popular? So we want to know that what are the unique and peculiar things that we are looking out for. But I mean, for me, this is a complete waste of time, to be very honest. I mean, we shouldn't even use airtime to discuss this. Because there are more pressing issues of the dollar and CD, the economic situation, inflation.
No, we discuss all those things.
No, but I'm saying that...
We discuss all those things. My dear,
this one, I told you before that this one, it's not a business.
The NPP is one of the leading political parties.
They can be leading, but...
And so who they decide to choose as running mate is of relevance to us.
They've chosen their flag bearer, it's okay. Now, running mate, the flag bearer should be bold enough to choose who he wants to be running mate. We don't need data.
Yeah, he says you choose by the end of the month. That's what Mr.
No, but
Akomia tells us.
No problem. However, he should choose. We don't need any data to tell us anything.
This was leaked. They didn't put it
whether
out.
Leaked or not. But who leaked it?
We don't know who leaked it.
No, but when you contract me to do work for you, when I finish, I'll bring it to you. So I don't think that the NIB leaked it. Because I'll bring it to you, and you decide to leak to... Okay. Let's put everything out. Why are they justifying that Napo should be the vice, the running mate?
They haven't said anything.
No, but it's a justification that, people like him. If he's the one you want, choose him. That's as simple as it. You don't have to go to them. How much did they pay? Is it free? Was NIB in this case a consultant, or they were working for a government? And that is not their job. They have to gather other intelligence, but not this one.
I think the analyst said that it's not out of place. They do all sorts of
No, they do all sorts of surveys. But I'm saying that for government, did they pay? If they pay, we should see the invoice. Because if you contract NIB to do work for you, at least you should pay them something because it is work. So did they pay for it? Is it a consultancy that they ask them to do so they can get some income aside of what government gives to them?
I think these are more questions.
Yes. But for me to choose a running mate, you don't need digitalization.
I beg your pardon.
I said to choose a running mate, you don't need digitalization.
What do you need?
You just choose that this is what the one I want. That is a bold leader.
Yes, but you have to choose based on certain factors.
So factors in the party, you go and talk to your people. You
yes.
don't go and do.
And factors in the party also includes popularity, being in touch with the grassroots,
but
and so on.
It is for the party.
And these are the party executives who are saying that they prefer Opoku Prempeh.
I'm saying they shouldn't come and tell us.
We don't want to know.
No, we don't want to know. Choose and let us see that you have chosen. Now, when you finish choosing, then the battlefield is open for us to go.
All right.
So
Thank you so much.
You don't need data and digitalization to tell us who you want to choose. This one, you don't need to go through these schemes. Just choose. If it's Napo that he wants, you choose. Bawumia should stop this. It is not. It doesn't look nice.
All right, Nanaya, thank you so much for your submissions.
But
Nanaya,
you say you are calling Kofi Kapito.
Yes, we were trying to raise him to give us his word on the celebrity ban. By
he
the
said
FDA.
He doesn't agree with what I was saying.
He said he doesn't agree with what you were saying.
But that's my view. Because I believe that they need money. If we don't want alcohol, they should ban production of alcohol in Ghana.
We tried to reach him, but unfortunately, the connection wasn't so great.
Kofi, good morning.
So we couldn't talk to him. But thank you so much. Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa, former General Secretary of the CPP, and also Louisa Kwache, NDC Communications team member. And I should repeat, we were expecting our MPP rep to join us on the panel this morning, but she could not make it, and so we apologize for that. That's why we didn't have a representative of the party here with us.